So I've avoided this for a few days, letting it sink in, accepting that I might have lost my hard drives, thought it through, tried a few things really, but now I'm finally gonna do it. I'm gonna do emergency surgery on Loki, my main unraid server that has been down since Friday-ish, Thursday, somewhere around there. Step one, when you're worried about your drives being dead, take them all out and put them on the cart. Gotta love the stability of my networking when you just barely touch a wire and it stopped working. It's on my to-do list. There we go. Should be fine. In a hopeless attempt to try to save myself some work, I'm going to avoid taking the main part apart because the power lines go here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out the fans and then I should be able to access the power. If not, I'd have to take out these motherboards or these backplanes. So as you can see, there's two main backplanes. And what I'm gonna do is with this still together, I can put in power and then run a meter to it and actually see if I'm getting voltage. And if so, you know, whatever. I can go from there basically. You can see under there, all the wires go back there and it gets combined, like 4 power supplies in one get combined. But up here is where it all gets delivered. And right here is the power lines for each one. Now, if I remember right, black is ground, the yellow is 12, and the red is 5 volt. So since I still have this all put together and everything, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and power it up and see if I'm getting the correct voltages to all of that. With this, I have the little clamper thingies on the negative, and I have it on what I think is a 12. The yellow I think is a 12. So here's a moment of truth. I'm gonna see if this thing has accurate, see if this is accurate. Ooh, look at that, I have red lights. Interesting, there's no hard drives in there. Okay, now it's at 12, so it's probably filling up all the little capacitors in there. Red lights and no drives. Huh. So I've went through and I've checked all of the positive and most of the negatives, and everything's pulling voltage. In fact, it's pretty steady. It's 12.12 on the 12 volt and 5.14 on the 5 volt. So now I'm thinking, what if it's not a power issue, but rather it's a card issue? Like the SAS card itself is having a problem. Well, that got blown out the window because I unplugged those and I still have those lights. So, it's worth a shot. Never actually thought I'd use this tray, but it saves me from having to take some stuff apart. So why would this be doing what it's doing? So this is what it looks like on the back. I did take a look at the capacitors. It doesn't look like any of them are bulging out, so none of those are obviously bad, at least not the big caps. You got some resistors, other smaller capacitors. I don't see anything burnt per se, like kind of seems normal. So what I'm gonna do is plug this one into that one real quick just to see if this still has the red lights on it. Indeed it does. Nothing. Okay, I started out thinking I was gonna have to tear down the power supply, but this is doing the red lights on this motherboard or on this little backplane no matter what it's powered into. So it can't be the main power supply, because if it was, it wouldn't be consistently that way. Pretty much just gonna touch a bunch of stuff with this, the ohm meter, to see what volts I'm getting, like let's say at each capacitor, see if there's any inconsistencies. As you can tell, I'm grasping at straws when I think the end game is probably gonna be I have to buy a new backplane. But if I have 2 of them bad, because all the hard drives are gone, did I fry the second one? I don't know. I mean, I went through everything and I don't really know how to diagnose exactly what it is past the, like the big stuff, the obvious stuff. I don't see any solder points broken. I don't see anything with corrosion on it. I don't see anything that's making these. I think it's these 2 and maybe a couple of these. I don't see anything that would specifically make those light up or be bad. If those are lighting up and if there is a short, then yeah, that makes sense that it would short out a lot more, but I don't really know. I don't see anything. Well, I'm stuck and I think I'm gonna have to buy something, but I wanna try to figure out, like, for sure if these back planes are bad. So I'm gonna try to get one to boot up. But before that, I'm gonna go on and see what these actually go for online. See if I can find them on eBay. Yep, nothing on eBay. Oh man, I'm breathing so much easier now. I put 2 drives in there, 20 terabyte and a 12, and they're both showing up. So that's a little bit better. I'm better than what I was a second ago. Plugged in 2 more drives and I put the other tray back in there. I'm still getting these lights, but I put one hard drive in the light that's on, one hard drive that It doesn't have a light on, and I'm gonna see if either one of them show up. Nada. So I'm gonna put them all over here real quick. So I have 4 total plugged in, and now I have 4 total showing up and unrated, which means it's just a backplane. Which, hey, that's good, kind of. I mean, it's good that my drives aren't bad. I mean, my panic is settled down. But that's bad because I can't find them on eBay. I can't find a replacement backplane on eBay. And if I only have 1 working backplane, that means I only have 24 out of the 48 drives. And my main array is at least 30 drives just for the main array. So, you know, math isn't mathing to get this thing back up and running without a replacement backplane. So now the question is, how do I get back up and running? Or how do I diagnose the motherboard and fix it, right? Like, how do I find what is wrong with that backplane and fix it? How do you do that? Going through all my random spare parts to see if I can find like a PCIe to SATA expander, but which is a dumb idea. What I'm gonna do, doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to do it because I've went through this twice and I can't find one. So I thought I had one. Then again, it could be sitting in a system somewhere half taken apart. Who knows? I got this for the Blue Iris build, and I think about it. And then I took this out because this was only 2 internal and 2 external, which is not what I need. Wait a minute. I got a SAS breakout cable to multiple SATAs. I wonder if this will work with my existing thing. I mean, it's not completely dumb, right? It's same connector. That should help. Starting to see how jank this is coming out, but I can't get a replacement and I need my unread server back up and running, so desperate times and all that. Well, it's not a good idea, but at least I know it works. Well, this is definitely not gonna be the repair I thought I was gonna do. It's gonna be the repair that I have to do. Man, I'm digging deep for some power splitters, but check this out. The other day I couldn't find a power supply. I was like, God, I'm out. I thought I had more. Got another one right here, $8.50. This thing's been sitting here forever, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I had some power splitters because it had a bunch of things. I haven't found the power splitters, but at least I know I have a power supply. So that's a bonus. All right, this is gonna be a terrible idea, but if it gets it working, then who really cares? I mean, after all, it's me, so Jank is my middle name. SAS expander, that goes to 4 SATA ports. Then I ran 2 SATA cables from the regular motherboard plugins, outlets there. And then I run this that came from the power supply that gives me 1 SATA connector. I split that into 4, technically 5, but I needed 6. So then I stretched this Molex from over here and then ran it underneath there and hooked that up to a SATA splitter right there. So ideally speaking, I should be able to have 6 drives up here and then 24 drives in here, and that would give me my total of 30 that I need for the primary array. And all the extra stuff that's running on the secondary array that I really don't technically use is not that big of a deal. I can worry about that later, but for right now, I figured that I could drop these into the slots here like so, and then just plug them in and let them rest down there. So at least it won't be just like guts hanging out. If that works, then I should be up and running. It's kind of a tight fit. Can't really see it, but I was able to fit that in there. So push that down. There we go. It's all underneath it. I think it's gonna be a good idea. There we go. Will this work? Actually, will it stretch? Probably should have did that. Ah, son of a bitch. Okay, now we're good. I just had a tug on it, and yeah, so, you know, all the powers are split. I think everything's still plugged in. Technically, I should have 6 drives when I boot up. Let's go test that. Ah, look at that. Nice. All right, looks like I might actually get this up and running. No matter what I do, you have to stand right next to the pile of drives. Get back, just come on, get over there. Okay, those are leftover drives. That's all the other drives that are stuck in there. So it should be a total of 30 now. That's 24 on the main backplane and then 6 over there. So that gives me my main unraid. And the rest are SSDs or the NVR storage, which was not important. All right, so far so good. It's not completely booted up yet, but I figure I should put the covers back on because holy bananas, that's loud. I only got 2 of the power supplies going because it booted up weird with that one. So I don't know what that was, but anyways, those are like $850 each. And this probably pulls 600 to 700, but 2 of them to be safe. So look at that, see? Huh. I need a backplane, but if this works, I'm good for a while until I get a backplane. Let's go try it out. Yes. Oh, there we go. None of my extra stuff is on there, but that's okay. I don't need any of that. That's just, it's not needed. But yes. It's been about a day and a half since I posted that, and I've been looking at this. I don't know how to fix this. I don't see anything obviously wrong with it, and I put my computer back together, my server back together without it. The only thing that I can say is that the lights do come on when I apply 12-volt power, so maybe in the future, if I can find a way to diagnose this, like actually look what's wrong, I can apply power and know if I'm somewhat successful just by whether or not those lights come on with nothing attached to it. And I have to go down that route because I can't find spare parts for this anywhere online. So if you guys happen to know where I can get, this is, I'll post that number on the YouTube video. So if you guys, know anybody, let me know in the comment section down below. But I started off with the assumption that the power distribution was messed up because I actually soldered that myself, made that myself, and it turns out it probably wasn't that. It was just this. Sure, it's possible that maybe something I did with that caused this to fail, but I think that this just went bad. I don't know. Either way, my server's back up and running, albeit with a little bit of a crutch, only running 30 out of 48 drives, but that's fine because now my Plex is up and I went days without it and that was terrifying. So now I just got to look and keep my eye out basically for a backplane or completely rebuild the server with something new. Who knows? But anyway, definitely not my cleanest fix of the century, but there you have it, guys. If you have any questions, comments, recommendations, anything like that, post in the comment section down below. As always, thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and have yourself a great day.